Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. We appreciate that everyone here took time away from their busy schedule to join us. Thank you for that. My name is Syed Nofer. I am here with my colleague from IELTS Innovation Center, Mr. Hidayat. This is my profile for those who are interested in my background. I have some experience in learning systems and video-based content development, which I hope to share and bring to this session. For this session, here are some housekeeping notes. Recording link will be shared after the session. If you do have any questions, please post in the Q&A tool in Zoom. We will answer the questions at the end of the end segment of the webinar. And also do tell us how we did this by contributing to the survey at the end of the session. Okay, an overview. This webinar is an exploration of the use of AI for video creation in the CET context using freemium software. So video being what it is, I think it can be used for different applications as well. Being freemium, I think a lot of us are able to have access to these tools and explore after the sharing is done. The session will cover the following use cases: creating your own video recording, creating AI-generated audio for your recording, and creating AI-generated music for your recording. This webinar is the first of a three-part series. For today's session, we will be focusing on some basic foundation on how we can create videos. But I think for future sessions, part 2 and part 3, we will be exploring different complex workflows that will be scaffolded, adding in more complexity to what we can do with AI. Before I start on the different use cases, let me share on some of the benefits of using AI for video creation. As you can see in the diagram on the right, AI can't do everything. There are some things that it's good at, and some things which they are not good at. So we need to use it in the right way. So for this session, we perceive AI or Gen AI specifically is something that will augment your development process. You, as the human, is still in the driving seat and is in control of everything. And we have to have be able to manage the content is being generated. We have to be have to verify authenticity and be critical of the output. Being the in thing, the trend in thing right now, there's some things that we need to be mindful. There's a learning curve. Even new AI tools are being updated frequently, so there are changes within the tools that's coming out. But we need to focus on efficiency and gains and time saving, how it will benefit us rather than using AI for the sake of using AI. And also we need to be vigilant on bias and ethical concerns, because I think it's something created by the machines. There may be some nuances that not be appropriate for use. All right. For this use case, we are having an instructor who is conducting his training frequently. He wants to have more interaction with his learners to identify learning gaps that they may have, but the lecturing component is taking too much of the classroom time. I think this is something that is happening quite often, where we want to do things, more interaction with the students, but there's only a limited amount of time that we have. And so I think in this use case, what we recommend is the use of pre-recorded videos in a flipped classroom approach. I think lecture components, right? Some of it is repetitive. If you are teaching the same lesson to different group of students, the repetitive component can be converted into video content to be consumed before the lesson. One thing is the learners will be more prepared to view the recording than maybe read a PDF notes. I think being, especially in the younger audience, right? They may be more more acceptable to consuming video than reading a long PDF document. And also, in addition to consuming the content before the session, they can use it for reflection after the lesson to see, what's the difference in their opinion, if their opinion have changed after they learn the lesson. And Wee Xiong, the instructor, after he have gained the time to interact with his learners, he may also have some additional content that he wants to share that will benefit his learners. So there's value in doing this approach. So what I would recommend is this application called Komodo Dex. It's basically a screencasting solution that helps not just only record, but collaborate and share your ideas. So why do I recommend this? First of all, it's a very simple way to record and edit video. There's no limit to the video length and duration. Using the free package, right? There's no limit to the length and duration of the video. In terms of hosting and sharing is included as well. You don't have to post it, create a video and host it somewhere else. As for the AI generation content, there are AI transcript to help you do the editing. Traditionally, when you do edit a video, you have to listen to the video from A to Z, start to finish, and then you start editing. So before you edit a 3-hour video, you have to see whatever recorded and to make sense out of it. Komodo also create AI-generated summary and chaptering to help learners break down the learning video. Last but not least, there's a commenting and feedback for additional interaction between instructor and learners. So what do you need? Basically, whatever laptop or desktop PC that you already have, I think this is good enough. A good microphone. I cannot emphasize on that enough. If you have a good microphone, the quality of the audio will be so much better. And you don't need to get an expensive microphone. Just like what I'm using right now is a $15 mic headset from Popular. It's good enough. It gives good quality so that the recording can be better consumed by the learners. You need Google Slide or Microsoft PowerPoint, whichever you prefer. And for this demo, we will use Komodo Dex, the starter version, which is the free version. Okay, I shall now start with a demonstration. This is a demonstration for Komodo Deck. First, I will start with the preparation you need to do before recording. Click on the green button to launch the Komodo screen recorder. Once the recorder has appeared, you can click on the camera icon to enable your camera. You can move it where you want your camera to appear. You can change it to an avatar, which is the image that you have shared here. Or you can also turn off the camera totally. The next step is to go to the settings. Under video, click on show more settings. For the free account, there's not much you can change. 720p HD is a good enough resolution. But one thing you need to test is the test mic button. So once you click that, you can see some movement here. It means that your audio is being received by Komodo. Other than that, if you have multiple webcam, you can just choose the webcam that you prefer. And you can test the camera here, see which webcam is appearing. Save Komodo, and now you are ready to start your recording. Starting the recording. We can now start the recording first by going to the Komodo site and do some configuration for Komodo. I think for one, I want this to have a picture-in-picture so that the learners can see my camera view from the webcam, at least to humanize the experience. So I will turn off this round camera. I can just adjust the location of the picture and picture view, but I think bottom right will be perfect. I will click this button to start the recording. Select the entire screen and click share. So you can see the recording timer has begun. This button is red. The recording has started. So I will go to the slide, make it full screen to see how the experience is like. Check the content to make sure that nothing is obstructed by the camera view. You can see that this item, the notification is still here. Just click hide. This recording will still continue. So before I start the recording, there's a few things that you need to take note. First, I will do a clap before the recording starts. The clap is to indicate that, there's the time where I need to cut off during editing. And after that, I need to give a few second pause, 3 to 5 seconds, so that it's easy to make cuts and edit it later. On top of that, during the transition between different slides, I will need to leave 3 to 5 second gaps so that it's easy to make changes or edits later. I'll show you what I mean. Introduction to Botmas. Okay, now I've done my recording. I can click stop, and immediately Komodo will ingest the recording to their website. Depending on the length of the recording, it may be very quick or may take a long time. So while doing that, they will come up with this screen to give a name to your video. So maybe what I'll do is I'll give it a simple name. Leave everything as it is. Click on save and continue. While it is ingesting, the AI is processing a summary of the content. So at this point, just ignore the summary. Now that we have completed the recording, we need to do the editing to make sure that the video file is ready for the learners. First, we go to Komodo, where the recording is. Rename the file so that we can identify it later. Click save, and then we click on the edit option. In this edit option, this is the interface that you will see. You can play the content to the green button here. You can expand and shrink the timeline, this option here. Control the volume, as well as control the speed of the player. What you see here is the caption that is automatically generated after the recording is done. So as you can see, it's not very accurate, but it's a good point of reference for you to understand or review the recording. Previously, the video editor needs to listen to the entire recording before they can make the edit. But in this instance, you can use the transcription as a reference to what is being said. Other than using the transcription, you can also refer to the clap that we did earlier as an identifier to where to make the edits. As you can see, at this point, the camera can see me clapping. One easy way to identify the clap is how the waveform appear for the audio. You can see for the clap is a very short blip, whereas during the speech, other than the captioning, the waveform is longer. So in this example, I roughly know where I want to edit. So there's two ways to edit. The first way is go to the timeline where you want to cut, click on split, right click, click delete. So anything in the selected timeline previously has been deleted. The other way, let me just find the timeline to edit. Okay, this is like a point. Yep, this is the part I clap my hand. So I think at this point will be quite comfortable to cut. I select range, click on it. So this is slightly different. So what I need to do is select the area where I want to delete. It's more useful for a precise cut and a small area. Right click and delete. So now the video is ready. However, I want to add certain components in the recording itself. So what I'll do is I go to the part where I want to add a new element. I click add media. So I have a file that I want to add. It's basically this, a splash screen I want to add at the start of the video. So I just drag and drop. So I've added this media before. I will just click on it to add, and the media will appear in the timeline. So when you are playing this video, you will play the splash screen first before the actual video lesson. But I want to include something, some audio during this portion as well. So what I'll do is I'll right click, insert audio, click record. So I will just highlight that this is a sample recording. This is a sample recording. So if you notice, there was a timer given, and then once it hits 0, I can just start the recording. I'm happy with this recording, so I will just click save, and it will be added to the timeline here. As you notice, the audio is only specific for a certain moment, so I can just delete this portion. I don't need the splash screen to be too long. Let me just minimize this. I can just right click and delete this, and delete this as well. So the splash screen will play, followed by the actual video. Once I'm happy with this, click export. And now the video is edited. Before we release the video to the learners, we need to make some fine tuning on the final product. First, I want to remove this captioning. So what I'll do is I'll click here and select video settings. What I'll do is I'll disable the transcript setting, but I will enable the feedback and AI summaries. Save changes. So if I refresh, the captioning is gone. Now for the AI summaries, I want to be more accurate because the AI has generated this automatically. I want to make sure that the content is accurate. So right now, I'll just make the corrections where necessary. Here as well. And save. You may want to check the chapters to match where you expect it to begin. So I've checked it already. So this is the timing where I want the chapters to start. The benefit of this is for the learners to just go back to the different points where certain key topics is being shared. Next is the action item. So I'll just edit this to how I see it. And the tagging. The tagging will be useful for searching for key content. So mathematics, botmas. Yep, that pretty sums up. I also want to maybe add in. So these are some keywords you can use with the tagging to search for it. For this item, you have generated a lot of video recording. So at this point, the content is ready for sharing. Now that your video is ready, you can start sharing it with your learners. Go to the Komodo deck site, to the recording that you have done and edited. Click on copy link, and you can share this link to your learners via email, LMS, or any other method you prefer. In terms of the learner's experience, this is what they see. Everything has been edited to the steps that we followed earlier, and the learners can just explore the content at their own time. One benefit of using Komodo is you can collect feedback. So the learners can just give feedback to you and you can receive it on your end. On your end, you can also receive the feedback from the learners and reply to them. This is a demonstration. All right. This is a demonstration for Komodo deck. All right. That was the demo. So I understand from the chat that because of bandwidth issue, some of the participants are not able to get a good resolution. Don't worry about it. I will share the recording of the session so that you can have it in the better resolution. If there's still any issue, you can just reach out to me, and I think I'll try to help give you some better references later. Okay, so here are some best practices to get the most out of your recording. Most important thing is to record in a quiet location with no human traffic. Based on my past experience, when you're doing recording, you might not be mindful of your environment. So, but for the learners, what they can hear on top of your presentation is, distracting sounds. Could be traffic sound, people talking in the background. So it's important to avoid that. So find a good location and make sure you clap at the start and end of each clip. It sounds very simple, but it will save a lot of time during the editing process. You don't want to keep on reviewing your recording so that, to find the best portion of it where you want to cut. Whenever you are transitioning between the slides, right, just pause 3 to 5 seconds so that it's easy for you to edit later. One more thing is about long recordings. I think in terms of learning science, they found out that if content is too long, maybe around 6-7 minutes, right, the level of how the learners absorbing the information drop. So try to keep the content around 5 minutes if possible. That being said, sometimes it's not possible. Certain subject matters are very long. You need the adequate amount of time to do the recording. So yeah, one good thing that Komodo does is it has the chaptering option. So even though you are not able to keep within the good chunk of video, you can have chaptering option for them to review. Last but not least, ensure that your transcript, summary, chapters, and action items are accurate. This is what I mentioned about having control, taking control away from, making sure the product is to your expectation and not just dependent on the AI. For the transcript, I did mention that in my example, I disabled the transcript because I didn't want that. But sometimes transcript is important, especially you're talking to your learners may not be native speaker. They may prefer something to read to complement the video demo. So I spoke to Komodo Dex, their development team, and they said that in the example that I have, the demo when I was doing it, it was not localized to English. So actually you can contact them, make sure that the transcript is be specific to English, then you will have better accuracy. So yeah, this is some of my experiences and the best practice that you can do to get the best out of Komodo. All right, now I shall move on to use case number 2. So in this example, Wendy and Joseph and Kumar are working on a new course together. While all of them want to do a video recording for the course, there are concerns that content revision may be difficult. And this is something that you have to be mindful of. When you are creating video recordings over an extended period of time, the content may need to be updated for various different reasons. Knowledge being dynamic, there may be policy changes or situational changes where you need to make updates to the content. You need to manage the accuracy of the data of the learning content over the long period of time. So this being a collaboration, they may be concerned that what if one of the team leaves, and we have to recreate the entire content from scratch. You have to start everything, because it's funny if some of the content is they change voices midway. So this is actually a valid experience. And for us, what we propose is the use of AI generated voice for the narration of video content. As I mentioned before, there will be less dependency on a single person for voiceover work. Whoever has been doing the voiceover will be so much more happier, because it's not dependent on one person. There's less stress on that one person. Future revision of the video changes may not be, future revisions will be easier to manage. And most importantly, the narrator's voice will be consistent throughout future revision. So for this solution, for this use case, I would recommend 11 Labs. It's basically a text-to-speech resource, but I think there's so much more that this offers. One of the things that impressed me the most is that it is the most natural sounding text-to-speech voice. It has good options of AI voices. You have both male and female with different accents, adaptable to 29 different languages. What I am impressed with the most is the speech-to-speech option, which maybe some people may want to refer it as a voice changer. I will do some demo after this. But I think basically for all of us, it's fun, but once the novelty wear off, we don't want to tweak it too much. For 11 Labs, it's easy to use. So I'll just show some example why I'm so impressed by this. So instead of using some short terms, I'm just getting some lines from Dr. Seuss, The Cat in the Hat, as a point of reference. Okay, I will start with my own recording. For me, saying some lines from The Cat in the Hat.
I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we two, and I said, "How I wish we had something to do." Too wet to go out and too cold to play ball, so we sat in the house. We did nothing at all.
All right, so that's my voice, my recorded voice. Let's compare it with the text-to-speech, the totally AI generated script.
I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we two, and I said, "How I wish we had something to do. Too wet to go out and too cold to play ball." So we sat in the house. We did nothing at all.
I think on first impression, you can tell it's a bit flat. Yep. So well, the words is accurate, the pronunciation is accurate, but it sounds a bit flat. So let's use the original audio and convert it with the voice of Chris, the same voice. Let's see how it compares.
I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we two, and I said, "How I wish we had something to do. Too wet to go out and too cold to play ball. So we sat in their house. We did nothing at all."
I think you can hear that, no? At least it's not so flat, and the vocal intonation, it sounds better. It sounds more human. And the fun part is, right, I don't need to stick to a male voice. It just does as well if a female voice. Let's just try Dorothy.
I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we two, and I said, "How I wish we had something to do. Too wet to go out and too cold to play ball. So we sat in the house. We did nothing at all.
And just to prove that, no, this is replicable to the different voices, I converted with a different voice by Alice.
I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we two. And I said, how I wish we had something to do. Too wet to go out and too cold to play ball. So we sat in the house. We did nothing at all.
Yeah, interesting, yes. So now, okay, what do you need? Basically, it's very similar to the requirements in the previous use case. I cannot emphasize again that a good microphone is very important, especially with the speech-to-speech or the voice changer. The quality of the audio that you entered will dictate the conversion. So this is from my own testing. It's very valid. You know, the quality of output, if you're using a bad mic or just your laptop mic, it might not be good enough. So a good microphone make all the difference. So now I will proceed with the demonstration.
This is a demonstration of how you can create AI-generated voices with 11 Labs. Once you register for your 11 Lab account, this is the website that you will see. Go to the Go to App button at the top right corner. And this is the interface where you can generate AI-generated voices. Make sure you are on the speech and keep the interface to simple. Be mindful that you have a quota for the free account. And once you reach 0, you will not be able to create any more content. So for text-to-speech, make sure you're in this tab here. Type in the text that you want to generate. Then choose the voice that you prefer. There's a few choices here. Choose any one. And you will see some recommendations which will get the best experience from each voice. So let's try out Chris.
Okay, so you're not going to believe this, right? So
If you're not happy with it, you can just choose another voice. Let's say Alice.
But these are not normal times in our politics.
So whatever your voice you prefer, once you're happy with it, click on Generate Speech.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Once you're happy with the voice, click this button here to download. If you want to generate a voice based on your own recording, you can choose the speech-to-speech option here. To begin, click on the upload button. Select a pre-recorded voice that you may have. You can preview the voice by clicking this play button here.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Next, choose the voice that you want to convert to. So I want to choose Chris. Review the voice to make sure.
Okay, so
Yep, I'm happy with Chris. I can just click the Generate Speech button.
the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Now I'm happy with the recording. So what I'll do is I'll just download and I have the sample ready for use. Next, we are going to embed AI voices into the slides. In this example, I'm going to use Google Slides to do the embedding. So to do that, there are some steps I need to do. The first step would be to upload the AI voices that we have downloaded before and upload it into a folder in the Google Drive. Next, we are going to go to the Google slide and we are going to add the voices, the AI voices into the slides. Click Insert, Audio, select the files that you have uploaded previously. Click Insert. You can move anywhere you want. This will be the player for the voice, but we do not want it to be played manually. So what we need to do is to click
this setting so that it starts playing automatically. We need to enable the hide icon when presenting, and we need to enable stop on slide change. So now your slide is ready to be recorded. To record the slides with AI voices, we are going to use Komodo decks, but with some slight changes. Instead of using the Chrome plugin from Komodo decks, we are going to use the app, the Komodo Screen Recorder, which is available as part of the Komodo suite. So there are some settings you need to do. First, you need to go to Settings and ensure that the system audio is enabled. Once that is done, start the recording by clicking the button. It will prompt you which slide you're going to record. So we're going to record the slide. Go to the first slide, click slideshow. You notice that I'm only going to start when the slide is ready. There's no more annotation, and the timer have started already or ended. So I will just play the slide while listening in to the AI voices play automatically.
Introduction to BODMAS. BODMAS rule is an acronym that is used to remember the order of operations to be followed while solving expressions in mathematics. BODMAS is used when there is more than one operation in a mathematical expression.
At this point, I can just stop the recording and it will be uploaded to Komodo deck. This is a demonstration of how you
Okay, I hope you enjoyed the demo. So yeah, I think that was interesting. I personally prefer the AI generated voices. I mean, when you do screen recording, the most common thing that you get the feedback from the person doing the recording is that they hate the sound of their own voice. And even for me, that's true. I really hate the sound of my own voice. It's something, you feel that the recording doesn't sound the same way as the way you sound. But it's a normal thing. It's a very common thing. So sometimes, if the resistance is too much for the person to record their own voice, yeah, AI generated audio is a bridge that they can use. So to make it more efficient, we're talking about returns here. Make it more efficient to use AI generated voice. Prepare your script in advance. From my personal experience, when sometimes I want to improvise, write the script as I go along, you find that you create multiple revisions of the same script. So you're wasting time and you're wasting the credits for the tool. So please prepare your scripts, and most of the time, if the script is good, you have vetted it, it's going to be used without change. And avoid using text to speech for long videos, especially if your video is, or your subject matter for your video is something very complex. The reason for this is because of the monotony of text to speech, as you heard from the example earlier. It just gets very dry and very boring. So yeah, if possible, try to break into chunks, and maybe maybe add in some activity in between, then it will be better received. When it comes to pronunciation, right? Especially for certain slangs or lingo, or you need to be creative with the spelling. Sometimes the correct spelling may not come out with the right pronunciation. So you just play around with the spelling, and you are most likely be able to get the good pronunciation they are looking for. For the speech-to-speech feature, some practice is required to get the most of it. From my experience, I think the biggest challenge is basically to get good audio. Once I started using my microphone, I think I didn't have much problem. So just some practice. You once you get it, I think you just stick with that setting, and I think there will be no problem at all. Okay, I'm mindful of the time. I see there's some questions. And this is some fun subject matter. For use case number 3, Omar is an instructor for a subject matter that is complex and can be very dry. He wants to create content that will help his learners remember key concepts while increase the engagement of the lesson. Yeah, and it happened to all of us. Sometimes the lesson can be a bit uh, difficult to maintain your concentration, especially after lunch. So sometimes it's good to keep things fresh, that people can just focus better. And for this, we propose the use of AI generated music. I think music is a medium that is new. Using in a learning context, right? It breaks the monotony of the lesson, and I know it's an interesting way for key concepts to be used to engage the learners. So I'm proposing the use of Suno AI, which is a music generation program. Suno is also available as a plugin for Microsoft Copilot. So you can use either one for when you want to explore this. So being mindful of the time, I'm not going to play a demo. I'm just going to play you a song based on the prompt that I used to create this music. So the prompt is this. Create a song about an AI course based on Komodo Dex, 11 Lab, and Copilot, which is about this course, basically, this webinar. So I'm just going to play a song.
Making courses with tech so bright. Komodo Deck shows us the light. 11 Lab brings voice so right. Copilot helps throughout the night. Step by step we build and share. Knowledge flows everywhere. AI guides us, don't despair. Learning made easy with care. Learn with AI every day. Videos that show the way. Find a path, come what may. Tech to help in every way.
Okay, yeah. I don't think the song is going to win any award, but it's better than anything that I can do. So, yep. So now we will start with the question and answers. Let's just look through. Okay, let's just look for one question. The question is, any link for Komodo? How is it different with other video edit apps? Okay, Komodo Deck, you need to look for the full name, Komodo, Komodo DECK. So you can search for it. I feel that compared to others video editing app, right, it has a lot of feature all included in one application. There's capturing, you can do the screen recording. There's editing. There's a capability to host the video, and you can also use it to interact with your learners. So I think if just by these 4, there are other features in Komodo which I didn't share because of the time restriction. This is a lot, and you don't have to jump with too many apps when using Komodo. So next, okay. So is Komodo compatible with any video app or software? Okay, basically this webinar is targeted for beginners. So I'm thinking if you want to explore with other apps, maybe Komodo may not be the best. It is basically for someone who just want to have the simplest way to create video content and just release it. So it depends on your skill level. If you're already a beginner, very basic beginner, then maybe Komodo is better. But if you are intermediate or more advanced, yeah, it may not be the best option. So interaction with other video apps may not be the best way. That being said, the professional version of Komodo allows you to download or export your video recording so that you can edit it in another app. So that's one way to work around it if you want, but you need to get the paid version. Okay, so the other question is security aspect of the platform. Some of the content or video developed are done in-house. So is there a concern? I think this is something your organization need to talk to Komodo Deck, the company. So as on my end, I can't comment on that. So yeah, this is any freemium software which you do not pay. There's not much SLA that you can depend on. So if you are very concerned about security, I think you need to talk to the company itself, and maybe some arrangements can be made. Okay. Okay, the next question. Will AI still work when I already have recorded training video downloaded from Microsoft Teams? Okay, for this version, the free version, I would say there's the option to upload is not there. The paid version, however, has the option for you to upload content. And from my testing, the AI still works. There's the transcript appears, and everything is still there. So yeah, basically the answer is yes, you can, but you need the professional version or the paid version to have that experience. Okay, the next question, can the video break down into bite-sized parts and send to learners? Okay, for this you need to you need to be mindful of the limitations of the premium free package basically. Even though they allow bite size, they allow editings, right? But there's a limit to how much edits you can make in one day, or the package, the basic package that you're getting. So I would say it's better to use the chaptering tool within Komodo. You put in chapters and send the whole file if the whole file is relevant. But then again, if you only want to have a certain segment, maybe you can slowly create the little chunks along the way. Yeah, maybe that will help. Okay, there's a question here. About transcript in Chinese. Unfortunately, I can't comment. I didn't test it. They said they have multiple languages, but it is something you need to test out to meet your expectation. I understand the Chinese language, they have different variation of it. So this is something you need to test out. You may need to talk to the developer. They can be quite responsive if you there's a chatbot at the bottom right of the app. You can chat through there, and usually within 24 hours you will get a response. At least in my experience, they will respond within 24 hours. Okay, so what is the recommended duration for a good video? I think I mentioned before, we want to keep it around 5-10 minutes. I mean, it's something that is can be absorbed. Is little chunks good enough for the learners to consume? It's not too long where they stop at the point and they don't come back. They forget to come back. So 5-10 minutes would be good, especially in this social media era. where people are so used to like 1 minute bytes of information. So yeah, keep it within 5-10 minutes max. All right, copyright issue from AI generated song and music. Okay, copyright issue is something which is in discussion right now, and it is something something that I can't comment. We just have to look and hear on the policy that's being developed. There's as we go on, there's a lot of discussion about this. At this point of time, I think from the best of my knowledge, AI generated content is free from copyright. But then again, future policy may change on this, so I can't really comment on that. So, but just at this point of time, it shouldn't be an issue. All right, I think Paul mentioned that TikTok and CapCut can be used as well. This is right. I've also used CapCut also, and I think it's a very useful tool. I think more for those intermediate skill level. Yeah, I'm taking one last question because of the interest of time. Is there a feature where we can record a call or interview online, record sharing by an external speaker and edit the content? I would say it is possible. It is possible, but the challenge is how you do the recording of the interview. Because what happens is you're doing recording of different multiple apps, the audio may not go through to Komodo. So this is something you need to test. Even during the recording that I shared earlier, there were some challenges because, when I was doing the recording to show the steps within Komodo itself cannot record audio. So when you're doing recording on top of recording, there are some technical challenges. You need to test it out depending on your machine configuration. This is something, it is possible, but you may have to find some workarounds on it. Okay, so I think that's all for the Q&A. I just want to share some information. On top of the recording from this session that we will be sharing later, we are also sharing the IL micro learning site. It has related content from this session itself, which we did not have time to share. Some examples like the difference between starter and professional subscription of Komodo DeX, difference between creating music using Copilot and Suno AI, and also some other features from 11 Labs. So if you're interested, what I'll be doing is I'll be sending out an email to all our participants, and please sign up for the IL microlearning site. Once the site is ready, we will add you to the subscription, and we will send an email. As I mentioned, this is part 1 of this series. Part 2 is scheduled for next month, 26 July, 3 to 4 p.m. So if you are interested, please scan this QR code. The next session will be focused more on assets creation, sound. We explore a bit of sound today. Maybe how to manipulate images, 2D images, or how to manipulate or generate video. So that is what we will be focusing on for next session. Last but not least, we want to know your feedback on how we do for this presentation or this session. This is how we improve. Based on your feedback, we will read it, and even future sessions, what you want to know, what you want to learn, just scan the QR code or the short URL, and please give us your feedback. With that, thank you so much for attending this session. I will hope to see you again next month. Thank you.